Hey, what's up now? Beautiful day outside, running some errands. Thought I'd stop real quick and make this video while it's on my mind. Suppliers, the 5 questions that you need to ask every supplier. And these are not going to be your everyday, what's your lead time. I think there's some obvious questions, and then there's some that you just really got to dig a little deeper. So let's say, for example, you think you found your product. You've compared your suppliers, which you should definitely do. Compare more than one. You're getting ready to contact them. Maybe you already have, and you've asked them some basic questions, but now you want to dig a little deeper. You need to know things. So if the A question would be like, what is your lead time? But your B question would be, what is your plan for market demands changing? Say, for example, you're ordering 5,000 units a month, and then you have a busy month, and now you're going to need 10,000 a month. Can they handle that? Can they handle that without stressing their QA? So I think that's a very important thing. Another thing you should ask for sure, and this might end up being more than 5, but I just said 5 to start the video. Finished product examples, other customers. What did their branding look like for private label? What did their labeling look like? How good is the labeling? That's if you're not handling it yourself. If you're sending it to them, even if you've handled it, you've come up with a design, whatever, and you're sending it to them, you need to see examples of other work like that so you know how it's going to look even before you get a sample of a finished product. Use other people's work to see what they do. And let's see, I would personally, this is something that I do personally, do they have their own white label business? Meaning, are they on Amazon? Are they going to be a competitor of yours on Amazon? Because if so, you pretty much have X'd out the fact that you're going to be cheaper than them for sure. They're going to be able to sell cheaper because they're the ones making it. So I think that's a big question, especially nowadays where Amazon's starting to get worldwide, and there's, they've been worldwide, but they're getting bigger. They're the biggest e-commerce in the world. So you want to make sure you're not competing with your manufacturer, because if you are, you're done. You're not long-term success in that situation. Product catalog, another big question. You found a supplier, you think he's the guy, you got one product. Ask for a product catalog. Get something in tangible, even if it's a PDF with pictures of everything they offer, everything they're gonna be able to offer you in the future. Let's see, I like to ask about management, particularly in the QA department. How long have they been there? How long have they been in the industry is a better question. If they've been there a year but they've been in the industry for 20, then you're good. Things like that. You need to ask specific questions. Okay, so these questions are not emails, by the way. This is something that needs to be done on a Skype call, some kind of call. You want to hear their reaction to these questions. You don't want to, because if you send these in an email, you're going to get an email back, and you're not going to know the tone. You're not going to know, did they know this information off the top of their head, or did they have to go look for the information? You want to know these things. You want to know how on top of their game they are, because this is the lifeblood of your product. You can order 10,000 of them and them get it right 90% of the time, but that 10% that they mess up is going to be off of you. You're the one that's going to pay for that. So another good question that I like to ask, and it doesn't hurt to ask right when you find your supplier, but chances are they're not going to do it until they build a relationship with you. But it's still a good question. Do they offer net terms is what I call them. That's probably not the official name for it. But like net 30, net 60, net 90, because in Amazon, you're not going to get paid right off the bat. So you might be able to fix it where net 30, for example, is you pay 10% down or 20% down of your total price, and you have 30 days to pay the rest of it, the net. That's a business standard. Once you get a relationship going, they should definitely offer that. Personally, I would try to do net 60, where you've got 60 days to do it. That gives you 2 months to pay off your. Now you got to be careful, because you can get in trouble where you're using your profits to pay off something the month after. You know what I mean? Like, you could get behind pretty easily. You'd have to be on top of your game. But I think at the end of the day, it gives you a little bit more capital at the beginning. If you can find a supplier that does that at the beginning, then that's a big plus. Another thing, and I'm kind of just rambling these off, they're not in any kind of order, but QA department, do they have one? Can they send you pictures of each stage of the manufacturing process of your item, from beginning to end, to labeling, to packaging? You know, I always ask for, and this is with my 9 to 5 obviously, but I always ask for finished goods pictures. I need pictures of the pallets going on the trucks or the containers or whatever it's going on. I need pictures of it. I want pictures of the finished product in cases, wrapped, labeled to me, everything. I want a picture from the beginning to the end. And when you get on the phone with these guys, you don't act like you're reading a script. You come at them with, I'm in charge. They're not working for you, but technically they are. I mean, technically they're not, but you're gonna need them to feel like you're in charge, because if they're in charge, they're going to bring it to you with the shipping cost, with, you know, the price. I mean, you're gonna get screwed on everything. So you come to them like, hey, well, you know, I got supplier B over here that can give it to me for this. You know, you can negotiate with them any way you want, but you got to let them know that you're in charge and that you got to have specific questions. There's probably 25 to 30 basic questions. There's probably another 30 that are, I would call them B questions, that are follow-ups to those 25 or 30. And I'll probably make you guys a checklist here. It won't be well, maybe I might try to make it tonight and put it in this video description, but it's very important to have a checklist, to get these answers and write them down somewhere in a spreadsheet. You know, this is going to go into the comparison for your suppliers, or it would for me. You know, when I found my supplier for my first product, you know, I asked all these questions. I got answers to all these questions. These guys knew, you know, and the agent that I dealt with, she was very informative. She had answered these questions before, which made me feel better about using them. You know, it wasn't the cheapest one. It wasn't the best one as far as like, they'd been in the business for 20 years and all that. I think it was 9 years they'd been in business for this product. But, you know, I've got a product catalog from them. I know, you know, it helps you down the road if you know you can use the same supplier. So I'm very confident in this supplier. I'm actually more confident in this supplier than I am in dealing with Amazon, because I just know that's how it's going to work. Not necessarily as important, but market demands are going to change around Christmas time for most product. So you want to make sure that these guys can, not only that, but the Chinese New Year, you know, they're out for 8 weeks, I believe. So you're going to have to probably order up in December, not only for Christmas, but for Chinese New Year. So you want to make sure they got the staffing in place. You know, I would ask questions about that. You know, do you have temporary staffing? Which I don't know how that works in China. They may not. But you want to know if they have staffing in place to take care of, you know, maybe double or triple what you're ordinarily ordering. Anyway, that was just a little quick video, just something to talk about, these supplier questions. I think there's going to be more content on suppliers. I think that's very important. I don't think enough people talk about it. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. I'm going to get back to everything and everyone, and I really look forward to learning with you guys and sharing what I know already with you guys. I think we can work together, and everybody's going to make money in this situation. You know, if you follow the blueprint and you do what you're supposed to do, and you don't take shortcuts, which is very important. Do not take shortcuts. If it takes you a month to find a product and track it and get it going, so be it. Don't listen to these people that get it done in a week. That's not true. And if it is true, it's not the norm. It's not the everyday thing. So just be confident in yourself, but be patient. So that's all I got today, and we'll see you later.